Welcome to this episode of Orion Update. I am standing in front of Fire Station number 3 at the intersection of Gregory and Baldwin in our newest park. Does it look like a park to you? It might not look like a park today, but where I'm standing will be one of Orion Township's newest pocket parks as part of our new Baldwin Road plan. This episode is an extremely exciting episode and something that I've been dreaming about since I took over this job in 2012. We have an amazing opportunity here in Orion Township to turn what was once blight in our community on Brown Road, in a road that badly needed widening on Baldwin, into something really remarkable that the residents for decades to come can enjoy. So please join me on this episode as we're joined by our Planning and Zoning Director, Tammy Gerling, who has her finger on the pulse of all the development happening in our community, as well as Gary Roberts from Strategic Communication Solutions, our resident expert economic development director, who's helped us along the way as well. We can't wait to show you what's happening on Brown and Baldwin roads, so stay tuned and watch this episode.
Hello, and welcome to the July edition of Orion Update. I'm your host, Alana Hart. On today's episode, we're going to learn all about the road improvements being made in Orion Township. Gary Roberts from Strategic Communication Solutions will share what the goals for the Corridor Improvement Authority are and how they will reach those goals. Township Supervisor Chris Barnett will give you a first look at one of the roundabouts on Baldwin Road, as well as future development plans for the corridor. To start today's episode, we will hear from the Planning and Zoning Director, Tammy Gerling, about the Brown Road Innovation Zone.
Good afternoon, Orion Township. I am Tammy Gerling, and I'm the Planning and Zoning Director at the Township. I'm here today at the site of our new Menards and here to explain to you how do you get from where we used to be, which is gravel pits, to a beautiful development, which is Menards. Several years ago, the Township took the initiative to promote economic development. We rezoned all the properties all the way up and down Brown Road between Joslyn and Baldwin and a section up Baldwin Road to a district called BIZ, which is Brown Road Innovation Zone. With this distinction, we allowed every property to be between 2 and 3 use distinctions. There's an A, B, C, and D. Use group A is residential, group B is small commercial, C is larger commercial, and D is industrial. So every property within the BIZ district contains either 2 or 3 use distinctions. With this, Menards was able to come in without any type of rezone and build a new building to be a wonderful business for our community. It's anticipated to be opening sometime in August. We also have the outlots for Menards, which are along Brown Road. As you go past, you'll notice some vacant land that recently was approved for an Aldi grocery store. As you can see, our economic development team is hard at work keeping our community on top of things. In a few moments, you'll hear from Mr. Gary Roberts, which is our economic development consultant, to explain to you, since we rezoned the properties, what we did to encourage more development.
For more information, you can visit oriontownship.org and access the Planning and Zoning page through the Departments tab. Up next, Gary Roberts from Strategic Communication Solutions will explain more about the Tax Capture District and future plans for that area.
Greetings, Orion Township. I'm Gary Roberts with Strategic Communication Solutions. I'm an economic development consultant and integral to the economic development team here in the Corridor Improvement Authority. You just heard from Tammy Gerling, our planning director, who introduced you to the concept of the BIZ zone. In the broader context, the BIZ zone is about half of the Corridor Improvement Authority district, which contains about 400 acres and represents a long-term investment by the community to improve the corridor of Brown and Baldwin roads. All of the work that's around you and that you'll see in this episode is overseen by a 7-member volunteer board called the Corridor Improvement Authority. That board is appointed by your own trustees, who ultimately have the oversight into all of the activity and all of the construction that's going on currently. Right now, we are in front of the new Menards store, in front of the brand new 5-lane Brown Road, which was redeveloped as a part of this Corridor Improvement Authority tax capture district. And essentially the tax capture district, or the authority if you will, has 3 primary goals. One is to change the complexion of the gateway to the community at both Baldwin and at Joslin. 2, to reduce traffic congestion in the commercial area along Brown between Baldwin and Joslin. And 3, to capitalize on the tremendous opportunity that is the Baldwin Road streetscape and things that will accompany the brand new pavement and roundabouts that are in that direction. I mentioned that this is a long-term project. The projection here is almost a 20-year tax capture, and I should emphasize that this is a tax capture district which captures only the incremental change from what was here before to what is here now, or what will be here over the next 30 years, 20 years. We have started with a base assessment of about $30 million worth of real estate, and believe with this kind of marketing, this kind of investment in infrastructure, that we'll make it to over $300 million by the time the district concludes its operation 20 years from now, or sooner if it builds out. As I mentioned, this is a tax capture zone. And what that means is the investment in the infrastructure prompts new investment, and the taxes collected on that new investment, only that incremental portion, is what goes toward repaying the debt that funds this project. As I mentioned, this area represents about 400 acres in total, or a fraction of a percentage of the community. The vast majority of the taxpayers in Orion Township will pay nothing toward this initiative. It will only come from, the revenues will come from the increment based on new taxes collected within the district that's been established. We've had tremendous interest in this. Infrastructure changes bring development changes. We've had some terrific pre-application meetings, and in just at the high level, we're looking at mixed-use developments, we're looking at new residential areas, we're looking at hotels and other commercial properties that will definitely enhance and change the complexion of this whole area, if you will, the gateway, the southern gateway to the community. So we're very excited to be a part of the project and looking forward to long-term great things to happen here.
If you would like to keep up to date on road projects in Orion Township, be sure to follow the Orion Township Road Updates Facebook page. In our final segment, Township Supervisor Chris Barnett will be talking all about the Baldwin Road project. Let's check it out.
So now that you've heard from Tammy and Gary, the true experts on this project, I kind of want to give you my perspective. As we are standing right now, we are in roundabout 2 of 5, the much anticipated roundabouts of the Baldwin Road project. So we are at the Gregory and Baldwin Road intersection, and right behind me you can see half of a roundabout that's already been poured in concrete. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited for a few reasons. First of all, everything you've already heard, the economic development, the excitement in our area. We've been able to turn what's long been a blighted area that wasn't really something we were proud of into something that's going to be thriving for many years to come. So I'm excited about the businesses, but one of the other things I'm really excited about is how we're actually literally transforming our community. What do I mean by that? Well, we had a 2-lane old road that was generally pretty beat up, and we're all pretty familiar with Baldwin Road. And while I know there's still many people that aren't sold on roundabouts, we're really confident that they work. And not only that they work to flow traffic more effectively and efficiently than a traditional road, but it gives us the opportunity to add some additional value to our community. So in this roundabout right here behind me, we have a beautiful array of landscaping that's going to go there. Not just in the roundabouts, trees, flowers, but in all of the medians. We get lots of calls and lots of residents that say they just don't like the way our roads look. Well, this road is going to be the nicest road, not only in Orion Township, but I'll say probably one of the nicest roads in our entire county. We have literally millions of dollars in landscape upgrades planned for this corridor. Both sides of Baldwin Road, currently neither side has pedestrian pathway. The only thing that's not really done in this part of the intersection is the pedestrian pathway that is just out of camera view for me right now. And the reason that is because that's going to be a different color concrete. It's going to be a really cool look and feel to it. It's going to be very inviting to our residents. We also made a decision very early on in this process to really focus our lighting and the amenities on the pedestrian parts of this project. So all of the lighting is going to be pedestrian lighting, not road lighting. Obviously you'll be able to see it from the roads, but we want this to be very walkable. So this to me is a game changer for our community. This is a big dream that we had literally 6 years ago when I first took office and started meeting and understanding that this project was going to happen. How could we as a community capitalize on the $40+ million investment that the Road Commission was going to make in our community and make it even better. So as mentioned, there will be 5 roundabouts. The most exciting roundabout to me is the roundabout where there actually really isn't a true intersection today, and that's kind of halfway between the driveway of Great Lakes Athletic Club and the apartments on the west side of Baldwin Road. And that's a roundabout that's going to go in, and the reason it's going to go where there's really no true intersection right now, street intersection, is because the way the road will be built, it's too narrow for a traditional Michigan left. So if you want to go, if you want to turn left out of the athletic club, you would have to come all the way to this roundabout that I'm standing in now, make the loop, and head back north because there will be no traditional median turnaround. But that roundabout, we actually have the same company that does the fountains for Disney World designed a fountain for us, and we're going to have, as far as I know, the only roundabout in the state of Michigan with a fountain in the middle of it. We'll be able to do some really cool things with that. There's some construction happening as we speak right behind me. Good work, guys. But that middle roundabout, the new roundabout, the number 3 of 5, is really going to be something special. We have a vision of potentially even putting like a Christmas tree in that roundabout over the holidays and things like that. But a real point of pride for our community. When people talk about Baldwin Road, to me, I talk about this is going to become its own sort of new downtown. We're certainly not in the business of competing with our village, but you'll see the investment that we are already talking to investors on a daily basis that want to build businesses and restaurants and things right on our corridor. And with the walkability component, you'll be able to safely get from your house in Keatington all the way down to Panera Bread for a nighttime bike ride or to Menchie's to get a frozen yogurt. And then also, the other thing we've been able to add as part of this project is 2 pocket parks. We don't have anything like this in our community at this time. A pocket park is really a destination park, someplace that you don't necessarily drive to, but really it's a more pedestrian-friendly park. So there's one, as mentioned earlier, right next door to our fire station at the corner next to the car wash where the old Sunoco gas station is. And then there'll be one right across the street from Panera Bread, just north of Taco Bell, on the same side of the road of Taco Bell. And those are the places where you can get a drink of water, you can sit on a bench, you can have ice cream, just have a place to have some more green space on this huge concrete jungle. So we're so excited. Thank you for your patience. And I do have one plea for our residents. The businesses that are on this corridor and the churches and the people that make a living, the car washes, who have already invested in our community really need your support. We know it's messy, we know it's dirty. I've made a point to get all of my car washes done right here at this car wash. You get a little dusty going in, but it's nice and clean on the way out. But they really need our support. To live through a project that's lasts literally 2.5 years can actually cripple some businesses. So we're asking you to step up. The traffic really isn't bad because there's always 2-way construction on this road, and that's all we've had the liberty to enjoy up until this point. So you might get some slowdowns once in a while, but if you can please frequent these businesses, tell them you are here to support them and thankful for their investment in our community. That's the big ask for you right now. In the meantime, enjoy watching the progress unfold as all of us are, and stay tuned for more updates. We appreciate you and look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Orion Update.
Thanks for watching today's episode. If you would like additional information about the road projects in Orion Township, visit oriontownship.org. We'll see you next time.